Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another video. My name is Tom. Thank you always for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. I quickly thought I would shoot a video in my garage again because this garage is turning into a massive multi-part project that is, I guess, literally taking all the time in the world from me. So I'm going to focus on this because I think a really strong winter is headed this way. I've read several reports, in the past. South Carolina has had pretty mild winters, ones that look kind of like this, where looks kind of rainy, but it's either dry or it's raining, but it's not like super below freezing. Let me tell you guys something. Daytime highs are around 40 degrees, nighttime lows, high 20s. So I don't know how I feel about a brand new electric vehicle being parked out in the driveway like my wife's RAV4 is pretty much all the time. I know how difficult it is in the morning to get sheets of ice off the windshield and, try to get the car warmed up and et cetera, before we can even sit on it because the seats are frozen, and I just don't really want to deal with that. So the end game is that I must, in this garage right here on this floor, I must fit two cars, one SUV and one EUV. So there's a lot of work to be done. As you guys know, there's that pile there, there's this pile there, and then there's that pile over there. And there's some walkways between them so we can get out when we need to. Also, I got some bikes here that, need to be off the floor, and a bunch of stuff that can probably be thrown away. There's probably 5 or 6 things that can be listed on Facebook Marketplace right off the bat. And, other things that just need to be contended with, like this massive Smith machine here that weighs 360 pounds. Without weights on it, obviously. So I'm going to actually move it because, as you guys can tell, the Smith machine's foot is right here where the brush is. See that? And it is all the way back to the wall. And this track of the garage is about a foot, actually maybe 2 feet back from the Smith machine. So I need to be able to drive in, obviously, because my 240 level 2 outlet is right there. And I need to also install, the bracket and the, the gas pump style hook for the EVSE. So there's a lot of work that's turning out in this garage, and I need to get started because Thanksgiving is next week, so it's probably just going to get worse out here as the winter approaches faster and faster. You guys can see my dog Duchess is rolled up in a croissant, enjoying it. I tried to get her to come in. It's 40 degrees outside. She loves it. She's like, So I'll let her be out there. Okay, so first things on the list, I'm actually going to set you guys down here on the floor so you can see it. I ordered, I'm not sure I like this angle, but I'll just scoot out of the way. So I ordered this ceiling storage rack. It's essentially similar to the one that's up top, except you can see that it's a little bit beefier with regard to the mounts that go onto the beams. So this rack can hold 600 pounds according to this label here. It is adjustable height from 22 inches to 40 inches, depending on where you put your screws. And this is the brand, this is the model. They don't sponsor. I went out to Amazon and I found this myself. The base weight of this is about 70 pounds. Actually, the top of the box says gross weight is 66.8 pounds. You're supposed to team lift whatever. But it is a 4x8, so it should be a lot bigger than the one we currently have hanging from the ceiling. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done to get this prepped and installed. Now, you guys saw a week ago, I installed that one. It's still hanging, so that's the good news. There's really no bad news with it outside of the fact that it's just small. This is a 45-inch by 45-inch square ceiling storage rack, and I guess it's okay for smaller places if you have a one-car garage or whatnot. Or you can also tie a whole bunch of these together with, I guess, zip ties or however you want to do it. And as far as I go, I got the 4x8 because I'm thinking that I'm going to come this way and use this space. There's also the part above the garage door here. I'm not sure how tall those mounts are, the track mounts are for the garage door, but I believe that this can fit in that far space coming from the corner out this way, and potentially getting another one to line up next to it. So that way all of our storage is kind of towards the front of the garage. Lots of considerations going on, but that's just one of the things that has to happen today. There's that one. Smith machine. This guy's a big one. It hangs out about 2 feet from the track of the garage door. The foot of it is actually right here. You can see it behind the broom. And it's about 2 feet forward from the track. And as you guys know, there's going to be an EUV parking in here. So that machine needs to be moved. It is currently towards the wall with probably 2 or 3 inches being away from the wall in case we decided to use it. We can put the weight plates on it that are scattered all underneath these Walmart bags. But that's neither here nor there. That machine is probably going to end up somewhere in here, maybe offset from that pipe a little bit so the weight stack, which is against the wall, can move up and down without damaging that pipe. I did think about putting it into this corner or into that corner. The problem is that corner has an outlet, and there's an outlet right behind that cooler, that blue cooler, which you can kind of see the extension cord right there. It's actually powering my garage door opener. So that was one of the first things that I installed. Originally, when we moved in, this garage door opener was plugged into this outlet right here, and the idiots that plugged it in didn't know that that outlet was controlled by a light switch that's inside that door, inside the house, which turns on these lights. So it's a switched outlet, and if you put a garage door opener on a switched outlet, this light has to stay on pretty much all the time, or you limit your use of the garage door. So I made that one of my first projects when I moved in. I ran power to the garage door opener. So not the greatest job, as you can see, but hey, it plugs in back here, right behind the cooler. You can kind of see the butt end of the extension cable that I wedged behind this drain. And it works. I'm not going to argue. Okay, so we know that the 240 outlet for the EUV is in this corner, which means that my future parking job, obviously this trash can won't be here. The pumpkins are going to go up on that rack that's already installed, but I have to be able to back straight in. I'm not worried about diagonal or anything. I'm going to back straight in, because if you back in, I can open the driver's door right here and still have enough room to get out of the car, come into the car, etc., etc. Also, plugging it into this outlet right here, there's plenty of depth here, so I can easily fold my mirror in, back in right along this garage door track, and back all the way in with hopefully the hatch ending somewhere right around here, right around this post, this stairwell post. Obviously, all this stuff will be gone. And then you can still come in, walk around the car, and get to my wife's car, which is going to be parking on a slight diagonal here. And the reason I am thinking a slight diagonal, you see the color change between the driveway and the floor of the garage? The floor of the garage is level. The driveway, this concrete part, falls off. It's about 45 degrees drop on this end right here. So if she were to back her car in, that hitch that she has on the back of their car will probably take out the lip of the transition between the driveway and the floor of the garage. If she pulls in forward, then her front wheels will kind of take care of the problem. She'll be able to pull in, open the door enough to get out, and there'll be enough space here for her to, do whatever she needs to do, and also access this refrigerator. Now, that car's length, I estimate it to be, I have a tape measure here, but I'm not going to use it. I estimate the overall length of that car to be about 180 inches. So 180 inches is quite a bit of distance. In fact, I'm going to set you guys on top of the refrigerator and adjust the tilt of this little tripod so you can see pretty much everything. But if we're going to be parking two cars in here, we pretty much have to be sure. So I already measured roughly from the front license plate mount, which no longer has a license plate on it, to the back bumper, which is flush with the hitch. If you can see that, I just nudged you over a little bit. So that's about 180, maybe 182 inches. So if I move this, and I'm going to measure from the lip of the garage. So from where the mark is of the where the garage door sits, I'm going to do a rough. This is rough. If it's on a diagonal, let's say this is the passenger side of the car as she's pulling in. Right here, so right where my head is, actually I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna lay this down and I'm gonna show you. So let me tilt you guys up a little bit. Sorry for the jarred video. Okay, so as you can see, the garage door comes down to right here. And even if I push this in some, to clear the butt end of the hitch, and this would be the passenger side because she would be pulling in, driver's side would be here. Passenger side would be somewhere actually where these wheel marks already are. You can see where the end of the tape measure is. So that tape measure is locked off at 183 inches. So that is the amount of space that we will need to get the my wife's car in here. As you can see, that leaves less than a foot of space to this refrigerator. So I do have about a foot of space here, so I am going to close this gap a little bit and also consider the option of moving this refrigerator to right here where these boxes are, because if the refrigerator is not there, then we have a little bit more play with how far we can pull the car in and still be able to open the refrigerator door and, stack overflow into that fridge. Then we get to this Smith machine, trying to figure out what needs to happen with this. I am thinking that this Smith machine might have to sit sideways, meaning face it the way that it's facing right now. There's no bench here. So what you really get is all this middle part is actually empty. So if I were to put it into that corner where you see those helmets kind of right there, and if I did it diagonally, I could get the butt end of my EUV right inside here, kind of the corner of it, without smacking these legs. It's crazy, I know. I'm listening to myself say it, and I don't like it one bit, but we don't have any place to put that Smith machine, and honestly, we love that Smith machine, so I'd like to start using it again at some point. And also we have this bench right here that you can do, you know, leg exercises as well as sit-ups and other things. And somewhere else around here is a box with a, oh, it's actually right there. This box right here behind the funnel. It has a seated curl chair. So you have the mat and you can just do curls. So I'd like to somehow Tetris this thing so that everything fits in here. 2 cars and pretty much a whole gym set. Question is, will I be able to do it? Oh no, we're about to find out. So that's kind of coming up. I'm gonna update you guys as I make progress. So, along with that, if I do put the Smith machine in this corner, there's a lot of stuff here, like these bikes. They're probably gonna go up on a hook, like one of those pulley systems that's gonna get mounted, and then you can like pull them up like a flag, and then you just anchor the rope so that way the bikes don't come at 100 miles per hour down to the road. But if I put the Smith machine right here, then above it on one of these lines, inside this box right here, this cardboard box right next to this pile of extension cords, is actually a set of shelves that I bought for the old house that, I don't know, many videos back, I may have recorded the fact that our cabinets that were above the washer and dryer. You guys remember the washer and dryer that was right here, right? Yeah, they sold last week. They got sold on Monday. Above them was a cabinet. That cabinet fell off the wall. It was incorrectly mounted. We didn't know. Somewhere in the middle of the night, it just came down, and it didn't destroy the washer and dryer, but it got destroyed when it hit the floor at whatever weight it was. And I bought those shelves to just put up 2 shelves right above it so we can store laundry detergent and whatever above it. Never happened. I guess I just got too busy. There they are. So I'm thinking 2 shelves to be able to put stuff like, you know, all the stuff that's laying right there. Maybe all the stuff that's laying right here. Hang these up somewhere. You know, there's the privacy shade for my wife's car. There's air filters for both air conditioning systems. There's a lot of stuff in here that doesn't need to be on the floor. Also, what I wanted to show you guys was this. You guys remember these shelves, right? I had a bunch of them. I had some in the garage. I think I had 2 in the garage. And I had, I want to say 6 in my office. Well, there's this pile here with the legs there. And then there's this pile here with these legs here. And somewhere, there's also the short ones that I had in my office, which probably are going to go back upstairs in the office. But what I wanted to show you was this. I had to buy 100. This is a 100 pack. I didn't have to buy 100, but I bought 100. This is a pack of those rail clips that you put on the leg, the post of the shelf, and then the actual shelf itself kind of compresses down and holds it in the spot. These, let me show you on the other ones here. You can kind of see that there's grooves in here, and those grooves lock into those clips, and it prevents the shelf from just falling to the floor. So gonna have to put those up probably over here, because there's gonna be a lot more room on this side than this side. Maybe one over there, and then the rest over here. And I'm also gonna try to maximize the vertical space with shelving. So depending on how these two shelves work out over here, I may get more, because they are 2 feet by 6 feet. So 2 feet out from the wall. And then I can use this yardstick here to show you. So they're gonna hang out. My finger is on 24 inches. So if I were to hang them on the wall, it's a lot of shelf space, and they're 6 feet long. So let me put this so I don't lose it. The EVSE is gonna get mounted with the gas pump kind of attachment, and then the holder for the actual, that was loud. Apologies for that. But this part holds the actual EVSE to the wall. So I'm gonna mount that. So there's that. There's this. This is the 4x8 storage that's probably gonna go up today yet. The shelf, I don't know if I'm gonna get to that today, but it's gonna happen before Thanksgiving. I found 2 more decorations that were on our front porch that needs to go into those boxes, or potentially an empty box, but I'll figure that out later. I have some empty boxes there. So the garage is going to start making, it's going to start making some visual changes here over the next few days. I don't know if I'm going to record it all. I think it'll be a boring video if I did, but I'll just talk about the upgrades as they're happening. You know, find a spot for like spare waters and stuff, maybe on the shelf. So we'll see. Maybe I'll put one shelf up there and the other shelf over here somewhere, so that way we can have, you know, stuff off the floor. There's a whole bunch of suitcases. I think there's 3 there, because that's the kind of like the Russian nesting dolls type suitcases where they all fit into each other. So there's 3 there. There's another one right there. You can kind of see it right here. So I think that one has a suitcase in it too. We have tons of coolers, because in LA, that's all we did was go to the beach and go different places. So we had coolers for every occasion. In fact, check this out. Drink cooler, drink cooler. There's another cooler inside the pool box that was over here, but we needed access, so I put it inside. Cooler, the one I just told you about, cooler, and a little baby cooler. It's crazy. We have coolers coming out of every hole. We also have enough beach umbrellas and beach chairs. There's another one right here, the red one. That one's mine, actually. These 2 are my wife's and my son's. And then there's another one that was maybe for our dog, I don't know. We have fire extinguishers everywhere. Check this out. One right there. There's 2 right there by the door. I think if I remember correctly, there's 2 more right there. So we really have quite a bit of redundancy, and I think one of those is really old, so I may just take it out back and shoot it and see what happens. But a lot of work has to be done to this garage before we can fit both cars in and try to avoid the winter craziness. So anyway, I'll leave this off here. 25 minutes of your time, I appreciate it as always. Go down in the comments, leave me your thoughts. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe, And as always, we'll catch you on the next one. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. And may you have a blessed holiday season with you and your family. Take care.